It's very easy to get frustrated when they're not measurable. I want my children to be in a good school. Which one is a good school? I looked up the schools. I chose my top 5. Until I got to my top 2. But that means before I'm making the money, I'm actually phoning them, right? Because I'm believing I'm getting there. I'm phoning them, I'm finding out their school programs, what are they offering. South Africa's got a big sports culture, very big. So there's like, for boys particularly, it's like rugby, hockey, and stuff. For me, it's like, I just don't want like these boys who have got no culture, who just like jokes. Like I'm doing a lot of work grooming these men to be wonderful men for my daughters-in-law, right? I've got wonderful children, by the way. Like, oh, if I should say so myself, that's what we want Norena to be saying about you. Eh? I've got wonderful girls. So when I was thinking about the school, for me, a school is a partner for raising my children. They're there for 8 hours in a day. So for me, it was important, like, what is the school offering outside of iskulu, academics, outside of sport? What is the extra stuff that I can expect? And there was 2 schools for me which did it. And they had a whole cultural program where there's stuff about leadership, there's stuff about art, there's stuff about dance, there's acting, different things. Like, if I have an artist, they should still be enabled. Because I did accounting, now where you must do accounting. Everybody has got unique strengths. So it was very important for me, like, this school has to be well-rounded. But I'm really working towards the goal because I'm finding that out before I've made the money. Pantu mulolela. Mpaka kwate 500,000 yataya kesi. Because they're only ready. Because na 50 kwacha, if you can't do anything with your 50 kwacha, 500 yala isasha. So wherever you are with what you have to prepare. First of all, be responsible with whatever is given to you. Secondly, prepare for bigger responsibility. All the time. Number, plan any number, even $1 billion, I will give you exactly where it will go. If you're not moving towards it, it won't move towards you. So make your goals measurable, so that when you hit it, you know you've hit it. Also make them nice little milestones so that you are getting encouraged. Sometimes it's just that, as a goal. That was one of my goals. At some point, we were $30,000 in debt. From our master's degrees, from deposits on our first house, $30,000. That was like maybe 2012. Because that's when I was doing my master's. And that was, look, $30,000 is a lot of money even today. But 2012, it was a lot of money. Yeah. And I did a spreadsheet for 3 years on how we're going to repay that debt. Every month I stuck to the payment amounts. School, house deposit, and we were disciplined. We did not travel for those 3 years. We loved traveling. We did not travel. We would do a drive to a next town, go and eat and come back. I personally didn't do any personal shopping for a year because I knew what I was working towards. I didn't need new clothes. I've got a lot of clothes. Like, make it happen with whatever you have. I didn't do any personal shopping for myself for a year. The kids at that point were just in a good basic school. I was happy to have them there for us to get rid of that debt. And we stayed in a very small house for a long time. But you need to be disciplined. It's because you want something, right? And if it's your personal goal, you will work towards it. Whatever you have a neighbor, then you are now restless. So make it measurable. Instead of 3 years, we got out of it in 1.5 because I was focused and I wanted us to run towards it. We got out of it in 1.5 years. So extra money that we would make, I would make sure 1% is going towards that. Instead, ngamwakwata kwa extra, yeah, 20. Mwala bama goes. Tuano again. What is your big reason? All of us need some motivation. How many of you, if tomorrow morning I gave you 25 newspapers at 6 and I said, stand up upon traffic lights, traffic lights, parkades, and sell those newspapers in 30 minutes, 25. How many of you would do it? Okay, that's a good number, pretty decent. For those who haven't raised their hands, if you were told that Boko Haram or ISIS has taken your mother or your boyfriend or your child and you need to sell 25 newspapers in 30 minutes, how many of you would do it? What has changed? The reason. So, when your why is big enough, the how starts to take care of itself. But ngata ukwete reason. I haven't been able to find a job. Oh, okay. Really? Yeah. How many applications have you done? I did one last month. I don't know. And when? I did one last month. And? No, they didn't get back to me. Oh. Okay. Good luck with that, hey. You know, if your why is big enough, your how takes care of itself. Find your reason. God was gracious to me. I had my first child at 22. He became the reason. It completely focused me. But that's a big responsibility, and you don't need a massive responsibility like that in order to focus yourself. Find your own personal reason. What's your reason? Second homework. 20 to 50 reasons why keeping money is great. And we're not talking about you saving money to just spend it. I think, I'm going to check 1,000, I can buy that shoe. No, just having money. 20 to 50 reasons why. So for a lot of us, the money reality is that we just spend money without consciously thinking about it. I get a lot of, I don't even know where my salary goes. How is that possible? Now, for about Yaluba. I don't know where my money goes. Guys. So a lot of reason why we don't know is because we work unconsciously around money. And this is because we might have belief systems that were inculcated in us from an early age that make us behave a certain way. What you believe about money and your personal relationship with money translates in what you do with money, okay? Some of our belief systems might not be empowering. I know muno tulibak church sana, one of the most disempowering beliefs around money that I know from Zambia is money is evil. No, money is evil. Which means if you get the money, what do you want to do? You want to get rid of it, right? Who wants to be sitting around with an evil thing? Right? For me, when growing up, one of the beliefs was the money doesn't grow on trees, because I heard that so much. Money doesn't grow on trees. Well, I'm fine. So you start to feel like, oh yeah, it's scarce. So I came from the Money doesn't grow on trees. My husband from a money is evil. Belief system. Elofia kuman. Kanshi, when I receive money, they focus on. I don't want to spend anything. Him, when he receives money, it's evil. He wants to spend it. So then our belief systems were clashing. And we had to sit and think about our behavior and why we were behaving like that around money. And to get down to the bottom of our belief systems. So when you think about your own belief systems, what have you heard? So what are the things, in order to uncover your belief systems, ask yourself 3 things. What do I think about money? When I'm talking about money, what do I say about money? Alempia shi bina mona urefia chitire. The third thing is, what do I do when I get money? That uncovers your belief system. What do you think about money? What do you say about money? And what do you do with your money? Because the belief was money doesn't grow on trees, I would also say that, like, that's the language. Then, which meant when it came, I was hoarding. I didn't want to spend anything. Belief systems. And we start to function unconsciously around them, right? Just bad belief systems. So think about that. And then change those disempowering beliefs into empowering ones. Shift your language around money. If you think money is evil, money is just exchange of value. It's a paper. It's like, you do something for me, I can pay you in this. If you saying money is evil is the same as saying a knife is responsible for crime rates, for example. You can use your knife to cut your vegetables, or you can use your knife to cut your neighbor. Knife ni knife. So money in the right hands can be a weapon for evil, but it can be a treasure for good. So think about your own belief systems and how you can shift them so that you're empowering yourself. I had to change my language, and I stuck good language on my walls everywhere in my bedroom. It's like, money is in abundance, instead of money doesn't grow on trees. I am worthy of money. Money flows to me. Money flows through me, which means it will come to me and I'm going to invest it in the next person as well, instead of it comes to me and I hold on to it. My husband had to change his belief system to, money is good. I can do good with money. And all those belief systems take so long to be developed. Shifting them will require your investment of time. So not just, I've changed my belief now. I think money is good. That's why now church, we have rituals. You kneel when you are praying. You get up when you're doing praise and worship, because it's part of creating your belief system. It's part of creating your togetherness in your environment. And so it will be the same thing with you changing your relationship with money. Is how do you create those rituals which help you to improve, to empower yourself? If that relationship is not sorted out, no matter what else I teach you on top of that, no, start saving, or saving a ko 5,000. If you think it's evil, shakupesha. But yeah, because you yourself, you don't want the money, right? So it's the foundation. That's the psychology. What are your belief systems? Are they empowering or limiting? Replace all your limiting beliefs with new empowering beliefs. And then we can build on that. So the next piece is the science of money. And I'll go fast on these elements because I will share a link to my ebook with Madam Norena for those who want to download it for free. In her spirit of generosity, I'll share a free link. growing up, I was always very entrepreneurial. I was actually called, I used to lend money to my siblings. I was called Pateo. Ati bamwenye bamunomunga ndakaba kukongwesha tabala. So mulandi ati bapateo na watupela kuya free. So the science of money. Where is your money and what is it doing? Important things to know with money, as money basics go, is what do you earn and what do you spend every month? Just start to understand where your money is going and what it's doing. Mochi accounting, that's basically your income statement. So ngamamfati income statement what do you earn and what do you spend in a month? Secondly is what do you own and what do you owe? So the second one is a snapshot of today's picture. When you're losing weight at before, so when you take account today of your what do you own and what do you owe, you might be sad. But that's okay for a before picture. The important one is your after picture. But you have to know where you're starting from. Today, do you have any asset of value? And it might be, I don't have anything apart from myself. And that's fine, you are valuable, so you can make money, right? But that's an important picture to know. Write those things down, important numbers to note. Then to move to where you want to go is you have to start budgeting, because you need to start being a lot more conscious about where your money is going. It's the first step towards managing your finances. Who knows what goes into a budget? Anybody? Do you include money for hanging out with friends? Absolutely. Do you include money for giving to family? So what is a budget? A budget is about how much money am I expecting and how am I going to spend it. So it's not just expenses, it's also thinking, 2,000, where is it going? And to have a plan for it. So that when it comes, you are not panicking, you're not excited, you know where it's going, right? So you put in everything into your budget. But don't end there. The whole point is to start to get conscious and to take control of your money. So start tracking your expenses. Third homework, track for a month, every day, where your money is going. Every single day. You will be surprised that you did to lunch, to the mushta. Ngamwalilipira na school fees. I was spending 35 rands on coffee every day until I did that exercise. Upon a day, the restaurant in Shkwata. Can't she coffee? In a restaurant in Shkwata. Every day, I took coffee 25 rands. Every day, lunch was 70 rands. Yeah? Yeah. 100 rand every day. So add that up. But we're unconscious, we just behave. Not yet pera whatever pam say, oh shanshan banana nikane. Sungeni. Write it down 1 month. You will see how many sungeni euros you do. And this is not to say don't give. Just be conscious of how much you're giving. That's all. When you can track, then you can shift. You can only change what you can measure. You can only manage what you can measure. If you can't measure it, to be another 2 years and you'll still be saying, Katsheko a year salary. Track for 1 month. You will see very interesting patterns for yourself. And then review at the end of the month. What I budgeted, is it how I spent it after you've tracked? And if you went off plan, it's okay the first couple of months, but decide to be a lot more disciplined as you go along. Some key things to learn when it comes to money is what's an asset and what's a liability. I'll go through these quickly because they're also in the book. So an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. right? So anything that you have that puts money in your pocket. A lot of people who are, for example, it's not an asset. Your car is not an asset if you're still paying for it to the bank. Because the day you fail to pay for it, what happens? The bank takes it because whose asset is it? It's the bank's asset because it's putting money in their pocket. So every time as young people, when you start thinking about spending, question yourself, is this an asset or is that a liability? Now my boyfriend, their assets and their liabilities. Seriously, for women, your choice of partner is a big career decision. It's not just about family. It's not just about love and marriage. It's a big career decision. Your choice of partner is a big career decision. It's not just about family. This one knows how to kiss. You eat his kiss. For 50 years, you'll be eating the kiss. Yeah, the sweet kiss becomes sour when you're hungry. Love nanjala sivi endelan. When you are making the choice of guy, is he an asset? Is he a liability? Does this person, and what I'm talking about is not that the man should be rich. No, that's not what I'm talking about. If he's rich, well, good for you, girl. But it's not what I'm talking about. The man should have potential and he should be working towards it, the same as you are doing it. Okay, the man should be willing to invest in you. Investing in you, it's encouraging you to go to school. It's encouraging you to grow yourself. I can tell you this for a fact. I wouldn't be here without my husband, for a fact. He cheers me on. He would come to every one of my events. He would be the one taking pictures. He, a lot of times, has taken the backseat to make sure that I'm thriving in my career. But that's an asset, right? Teti mushtishi for any amount of money. I wouldn't. Nangu mwampela 1 billion, I wouldn't. Because he's an asset, and it's an asset that keeps giving. So choose well. It really impacts the rest of your life. So many people that we started off with are the same because they made a bad decision with the partner. Akali konsa chite kofi, imuna imwe. Imuna imwe. Mkaseva na fingate fibombele. Umuseva nyaunda de kensala. Mkaseva na ngata fibombele. And over what? Take a small business. Where you can't even take any risk, you can't do anything. Nobody cares about your hunger. Work. When you are hungry alone. But choose well. Choose your partners who will encourage you, who will support you, who will invest with you, who, when you have goals, you can share the goals and not be fearful. Who you can say, in a man, nanaka kula checking a balance every time to the restaurant. And he doesn't say, Ule and that shot. Ule batine. No, we're in this together. It's not, I'm not saying. Yes, tulelia, but in the folk, restaurant. So really think about it and choose well. And how you attract a good partner is, first of all, you should be valuable yourself. You can't be a $2 girl expecting a 10 million guy. Value attracts value. Okay? So you have to be valuable yourself. You can't be a $2 girl and be like, oh, I drink my way. Muntu wande. Fumina pai mattress. Wisa kuna mkutushupa. Have you seen some of those selfies which get taken? If you look at the background, you're just like, oh my gosh, like, buy a bed, girl, before you buy that hair, right? You have to be valuable yourself. So invest in you, number one, before you start looking for men. I was already a very ambitious girl. I was doing fine. When I met my husband, I moved on in the flat on top of his. So we were affording the same type of flat. That's how I met him. The Lord dropped me on his head. I didn't know him. He literally dropped me on his head. I met him the day I moved in. And he really stared at me because now I was going upstairs. But I thought, young guy, my husband's only 2 years older than me. I used to think I should be dating much older men. I'm like, young guys, I'm not really, it's not my vibe, it's not my thing. Then I asked him to help me take my stereo upstairs because it was heavy. So he took it up, and he had said that he had stopped helping girls doing things because then you become in the friend zone. You know, so he didn't want to be a handyman. Then he gets into my flat, and I'm like, whilst you are here, can you help me with the curtains? The exact thing that he didn't want. Can you help me with the curtains? He's just like, yeah, number two, handyman. But when he was hanging the curtains, my husband has got a very nice ass, by the way. I was like, yo, my neighbor. I still thought it was a bad idea. I thought if you break up with your neighbor, it's the worst because I have to see this guy every day. So none of that. I'm just like, no. But my sister met them, and she was like, you should meet him. He's very similar to you. He's super ambitious. Even the way he speaks, a lot of the stuff reminds me of you. I'm just like, right. Then one day, he was partying with his friend in his house, so they were making noise, so I went downstairs. And I found the two of them really just having a good time with his best friend because they lived together. And he said to me, come and join us. And I joined in. I had fun with him. I danced. For him, he decided I was his wife that day because at Finya. But for me, one of the biggest things was there was a desk in the corner in the living room. Ka desk feso na ka table with a computer. On the wall, there was a sign to Webcentric on A4 paper, printed out in color. And I went to that desk and I said, what's that? And he said, it's my company. I said, okay. What does it do? Because he's a computer science background. He says, I build websites. I said, where is it? He said, right here. That was the company there on the desk. For me, I said, you win. Because you know why? He was not waiting for the 500,000. He was doing what he could with what he had. He's a super intelligent guy, if I should say so myself. But intelligence is nothing if it can be applied. Right? He could have just been sitting, good job. Kushan, invest trust. Good job. He could have been sitting. But on top of that, he was thinking about his future. He was creating a business on the side, which is what I always did as well. I had a job and I would always have a business on the side. So Apo, I will actually share with her our befores and afters. You should see how I met him. For me, it was just that, the potential of somebody who's thinking like that. See, you should see him now. It's hot chocolate. So, know where your assets are and your liabilities. This includes your relationships, it includes your friends, it includes who you're hanging out with. Some of your friends are liabilities, guys. Every time, but you need to know what your goals are. If your goal is here, wonderful, go for it because it's personal, right? But know your assets and liabilities. It includes family members. And our prayer is that all of this investment is that you become assets to your parents. Please don't be liabilities to your parents, to society. I should be studying right now. I'm here because I'm hopeful, right?
Yeah.